In a studio that's in a basement comes the epic story of how two friends changed the future of the movie podcast game forever. The reviews are in. Boys Life magazine gives the High Sci podcast 4.5 acorns. The Daily Bugle says, these guys are super legit. And Pope Francis declares the podcast as life-affirming. From the kid who tried to get smart with David Spade and got fucking old.
You're still out. You're still bad.
And the guy who can name all four Baldwin brothers.
Alec, William, Daniel, and the baby boy, Stephen.
Live from the studio of his parents' basement. The Have You Seen It podcast.
Welcome back to the Have You Seen It podcast. My name is Mason Knight, and sitting across from me is Cash Kraus. How you doing, Cash?
I'm here.
You're here?
Barely.
Yeah, barely. Well,
Barely.
it seems like the studio is barely here today. We're having technical difficulties.
We are struggling.
We are. There's a problem.
We
with
boarded the
the
struggle
tech.
bus, and we've been on ever since.
We have. But nonetheless, we are here today. It is Foreign Film Friday. And man, I do love these Fridays. You know, you're off the end of the week.
Oh, yeah.
End of the work week. You get to come in, talk about some films. So,
And luckily enough,
stuff.
they're usually pretty good films.
They are, yeah.
And we've had a really good
So
run.
far, so good.
So far, so good. But, yeah, so this is our Foreign Film Friday. But first, before we get into it, we got to talk about what's going to be on our poll.
The poll, yes.
Next week. People want to know. People are dying to know.
So Ugly finally won this week. That is the film we will be reviewing today. But before we talk about Ugly, we have to replace Ugly.
Yeah, and Ugly's been on there for a while, too. We should start tracking weeks.
We should.
And
For
how
long those
each-
movies are on. Yeah.
But, yeah, so Ugly's gone. We're doing that today.
Yep.
So we got to replace it.
And we have 3 films on our poll right now. We have Ship of Theseus, Village Rockstar, and Trance. And why don't you tell the people what the 4th film is going to be, Cash?
The 4th film we are adding today. Glad to say another LJP film.
Yes, sir.
E-Ma-U.
E-Ma-U.
I think we're saying that right.
It's pretty
But
close.
Man, it's a wild U.
Mary Mother Joseph.
So Mary Mother Joseph, exactly. So we're adding another LJP film. E-Ma-U will be the new one added. And, yeah, I wonder, what's your take? Who's going to win it?
Man, my personal opinion, based on the poll this time, which we got well over 1,000 votes this time, so this was actually the new highest poll for voting.
Oh, yeah.
But man, this was also, not only was it the most voted poll, but it was also the closest. Ugly just barely skimmed by, barely won at 41%. Trance was a close second at 39%. So if I'm a betting man, which you know I am.
I know you are. You're a degenerate.
I am. I am
You got a
putting
real
my
problem.
money. I do. I am putting my money on Trance.
Yeah, I think it's a smart bet. Yeah. Absolutely. I would give you horrible odds on, or good odds on that, because it's going to happen. But I would give you, over under. I wouldn't give you great. So, because I think that's so for sure. Yeah, that was really close. And these other films that we have, E-Ma-U, Village Rockstar, and
Ship of Theseus
are tiny films.
They are
very small films. So I think Trance is going to be the winner, and Trance blew those out of the water. Also, so we just have to take from what we know. So, unless fucking E-Ma-U comes in and just does something crazy.
Everyone's just LJP. We gotta have them. We gotta have you guys reviewing more LJP.
I'd be surprised, but I think Trance is gonna win. Yeah. Unless LGP himself maybe pulls some weight,
right?
Starts getting some comments, but eventually we'll get to them.
We will.
But so that's the 4: Trance, E-Ma-U, Village Rockstar, and Ship of Theseus, which I don't think Ship of Theseus is ever going to win.
It may not. It may never. I mean, Village Rockstar and Ship of Theseus had like 10% and 11%, so maybe at some point they can get a little bit higher.
Yeah.
Might have to just pick it as an extra film to review.
I don't care, because all those films I thought looked great.
They all look great.
So I really don't care at all.
And that's what we really preference our podcast about. It's not about like the biggest movies. It's about films that we're interested in watching. And I got to tell you, Tamil, Malayalam, all these small, not as big as Bollywood and Hindi, but man, they got great films.
Well, yeah, it's just like here and probably anywhere in the world where
our indie films,
the
tend
indie
to be
scene,
better.
it's people that really care about film, because it's people not not trying to just make a ton of money.
Right, and not having a ton of producers in your ear all the
Yeah,
time.
not
either,
a
making
not a lot of
terrible
execs
changes.
coming down, and no one's fucking telling LJP because no
Ain't
one can
telling him a
track
damn
him down.
word.
He's too
No kidding.
fast.
He's just everywhere. I mean, he's shooting a film in 19 days.
That's the
and you're
problem.
like, where is he?
The execs are looking for him.
They are, but they can't find him.
He's constantly roaming off the grid,
Yes.
so you can't track the man. But yeah, I'm excited. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into our review / breakdown of Ugly, our latest Anurag Kashyap film.
Yes.
What have we done now? Gangs of Waspor.
Ramen Raghav 2.0.
And this is the first Anurag Kashyap film that doesn't have our guy in it.
I know, it's so sad. No,
It's a heartbreaker.
Nawazuddin Siddiqui.
No Nawazuddin. I miss the man, I got to tell you.
As do I. I could see that man every day on screen and be fine with it.
It's been a while, but I mean, Anurag, as good as ever.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, man, he is. Anurag and LJP, in my mind, are the fucking directors in India.
They are.
So far, I haven't seen anyone else. I mean, because they are good. And this film, called Ugly, is, I mean, that's the most spot-on title I've ever seen on a film.
Oh, especially, you're right, especially for this film, because it literally shows the ugliness of mankind.
Oh, my. There's not a beautiful character in this film.
There's not a redeemable character at all.
No.
Every single
The
person
girl,
in this
Kali,
movie has, unfortunately...
And it's only because she hadn't grown enough to be
a terrible
piece of
human
shit.
being.
Yeah, so,
Unfortunately, you know.
but yeah,
Man, no redeemable qualities about anyone in this
None.
movie. You go away from it thinking, oh, I fucking hate everyone in this movie.
you can't root for anyone.
You can't.
Even, I mean, at the very end, you're just grasping for any kind of hero.
Yeah, you're just like,
The
please give me
mom, the
something.
cop, anyone. You're like, please, someone step up here. And I guess the hero kind of ends up being Boys. Was that his name?
Boys.
Boys, right?
Oh, boys. Yeah,
Boys,
the police officer.
Yeah, I guess he
I
kind
guess,
of, but
kind
man,
of.
that guy was the biggest piece of shit too.
Well, yeah, and he had this weird grudge from college, and you're like, dude,
That was so weird.
get over it.
That was so weird. Like,
You bullied me in college. Okay, like get over it, bro. Like you're a grown ass man. You've done well for yourself. You're a police
Yeah.
officer. Let
that
bygones
was
be bygones.
20 years ago?
I know.
We got to give that up.
This
What did you
guy
give
held
him a wet willy?
Yeah, I know, like a little noogie or something. He's like, I will seek revenge.
Yeah. Mark my
wild.
words. It's
You will rue the day.
what we're
pal.
learning is Indian people are very vengeful.
They-
They do not give, because remember in PK,
Yeah.
not in PK, but
No,
3 Idiots.
3 Idiots.
The kid keeps a grudge for like 20
I know,
years.
that
He
was in
writes
college
it.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he writes the
So we're
date,
learning,
like September 17th.
They can keep a grudge, which I love.
Yeah.
You know, never
Well,
give
you
that
know.
shit up. Let
No,
it just
let
eat
it just
away for it,
fester
because
in
that's
your-
that's the way to go. But yeah, man, this is one of those films where I really enjoyed it, but I'll probably only ever watch it once.
Yep, that's the same way. I mean, I enjoyed this
'Cause
film
it's
thoroughly
depressing.
too, but it is.
Throughout but it's one of those films that's very dark and very depressing, but it really keeps you in there with that thriller element.
Yes.
And kind of the red herrings, where a lot of these films that we watch are just depressing. They're good, but they're just fucking. They don't have any kind of thriller element, where this one does dip that thriller element into it, but man, it's mostly just depressing.
Yeah, definitely. And it's a lot of the who done it too. Like this whole film, I'm thinking, who kidnapped this girl? Because we never got a shot of her. We never knew where she
At
went.
points, you just forget she exists.
Well, and I think it at
people
points,
just
people
stop-
forget she's kidnapped.
Yeah.
They don't seem to care. They're more
'Cause it's-
interested in self.
Oh, about themselves, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a collection
gross.
of the most vain people in the world.
Oh my God, yeah.
Who take this horrible moment and
try
take
to,
advantage of
yeah,
it.
capitalize on it.
Yeah. So let me read you what Ugly is about. It's a 2013 Hindi language thriller film, again directed, co-produced, and written by the man of many hats.
Yeah, he has many
He's
hats.
a Spielberg. He's a real Spielberg.
He is.
But directed by Anurag Kashyap. Ugly follows the story of a struggling actor, Rao Varshini, whose daughter, Kali, disappears in the events that follow.
Yep.
That's pretty much exactly the premise.
Mm-hmm.
Usually those one-liners aren't enough, but yeah, that's exactly it. And it's just about these characters and that unfolding, and how when you just get a bunch of horrible people together, they'll take advantage of any situation, even if it's a kidnapping. The worst situation that can happen.
I know. It baffles me in this film. Just so many shitty people. There was word on the street said Raul bought This was his first film back in 13 years. Took a 13-year sabbatical.
Yeah, that's quite a break.
Yeah, you might call it a little bit more than a sabbatical. But,
that is definitely a break for sure.
Quite a break, but great performance. I mean, you couldn't tell.
Who was that?
Raoul Bott.
Yeah, Raoul Bott. Yep. Well, we actually, something else that's crazy is it features TV actor Abir Goswami in his last film. Like one of his, I mean, he did films before, but he was mostly known as TV acting. But yeah, in his last performance.
It crazy, too, how
he's
passed
fucking
away.
great in this.
He
plays Raoul.
Yeah. Raoul?
Yeah, he plays the guy, Raoul, the character.
The lead?
Yeah.
No, he plays the ACP Gupta in this. He plays the police officer, one of the police officers. But nonetheless.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
But, nonetheless, very, very tragic. And did you hear how he passed away? 38 years old, he was running on a treadmill and had a cardiac arrest.
That's like the second time we've heard. Yeah, he was. Right, I remember now. He was one of the cops, yeah. That's the second time we've heard someone having a heart attack pretty young in India.
I know. Yeah.
What's going on?
I don't know. I have no idea.
That's really young.
Yeah, it's sad too, man. I mean, 38 years old, the prime of your life. You're a working actor, and then, you're just working out, trying to stay healthy.
That's why I don't work out.
Okay.
It just kills people.
Yeah, it does sometimes. You push a little too hard.
Just kills people. You're trying to get healthy, and it just ends up killing you.
Yep. Sad.
Sit on the couch for 30 years and die of heart disease at 60, like the rest of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's horrible, man.
It is.
And but it's a good. I mean, it's dark, but it's a good film to go out on because it is in my opinion, I don't know about you, but I thought it was a really, really good film, and it's held together by all those characters and just how shitty they're almost one-upping each other in the shittiness category.
Yeah. And that was the thing that I found with this film most pleasing and most satisfying to me is I could not figure out who did it the entire time and it was so simple. It was right in front of your face with the title, with the characters. I mean, how would you have not seen this coming? And somehow Anurag Kashyap does such a good job directing and writing this film that even the most simplistic ending had no idea, threw me for a complete loop. And at the end of the film, I go, oh, wow. Because I paused the film with 2.5 minutes left, and I'm like, oh, there's only 2.5 minutes left in this. I go, there's no way there's going to be a satisfying ending. There's no way they're going to wrap this up in 2.5 minutes. And sure enough, the ending, and I was like, oh, my God. It was everyone's greed. It was everyone one-upping each other.
Well, it was
where they just didn't look at the evidence.
It was very unsatisfying in the most satisfying way. Yeah, it was the most simple answer of all that you could possibly think of. So simple that you didn't even have it as a possibility. Yeah. But yeah, it's so smart. It's great filmmaking because it just goes to show you that element wasn't really the story at all. It wasn't the story of this girl missing. It was the story of these horrible, these ugly people. Yep. And this entire town, I think, is just ugly. But it's a horrible place. Yep. But yeah, that's because by the end, it's not by like the last 10 minutes, like you said, even the characters are like, oh fuck, what about this girl? Like, we totally forgot about.
Yeah. We're all like trying to catch each other in the act. We're all trying to get each other in trouble.
Yeah, everyone's fucking trying to get paid.
Yep, trying to get
paid.
Yeah.
Everyone's trying to get paid, but
just so greedy.
And then the last 5 minutes, everyone's gonna be like, "Whoa, wait, I forgot this whole thing is about Kali."
Yeah,
we totally forgot about it, and it's again, it's unsatisfying in the most satisfying. I love that he took it that way, and it wasn't some big reveal where it's like, oh my God, it wasn't some master plan, which of course that's probably what that's what anyone would be thinking.
Oh, that's what I was thinking, absolutely.
Because right off the bat, it teases you with the dad. The dad is an out-of-work actor,
Well, he's never gotten cast one time.
Exactly.
And they show his ego very early on in this movie because his manager, his friend, is kind of like his producer kind of guy, an agent, and he had the opportunity. Sorry, I was just checking this. He had the opportunity to represent him in smaller roles, but he turns around and says, no, I only want the big roles. Therefore, that's why he's never got any work, because he didn't want to be a supporting actor.
No one just gets a big role right off the bat.
Man. Yeah.
Unless you're fucking getting cast in Harry Potter or some shit and someone finds you when you're 13. But he was really, he was horrible. A horrible dad that you find out through like flashbacks and stuff, was beating his wife even after they were divorced.
Yeah.
Was coming back for a little extra beating. crazy. But yeah, you never expect it to be what it is because there's never like a clear identifying horrible character that you're always looking for. Like you're always looking for the one person that could do something so bad, but they're all capable of it.
Yep.
Every single one of them, even like side characters, like the police. He was like second in command, and he was also his name is Jadhav.
Mm-hmm.
Did you recognize what he was from?
You know what? I kept looking at him. I was like, I recognize that guy.
I knew immediately. I had to look it up. He's the evil coach in Dongle.
That's right. That's where we saw him from. Yeah, he's the bastard who locked away Amir Khan.
Yep.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
I knew it. I knew he was in something I couldn't figure out. And he's also in Sacred Games, which I don't think there's an Indian actor not in Sacred Games.
No joke. That
every
must be
time
the most
we look,
star-studded cast of all time.
Every time we look something up on the last sentence of the Wikipedia page, it'll be, and also in Sacred Games.
Yeah.
Every single time. But yeah, he was the evil coach. And he played an evil cop.
He did.
There's not, yeah, they do cops right in India, where they're always, fucking bad. Evil and hard asses.
Yeah.
No cop is as bad as the cop from, not Delhi Belly.
Raman Raghav 2.0. He was the worst cop of all time.
No, the other cop from Super Deluxe. He's up there.
Yeah, that guy's more evil.
I forgot Raman Raghav, too. Yeah.
That guy was awful.
That's a tough one. Who is the most...
I gotta go with Super Deluxe. That guy was
rapey.
Rapey, very rapey. Very rapey. Very disturbing.
Didn't even want to kill you. He just wanted to see you tortured.
Right. And he was a sadist.
Yeah, absolutely. But man, a hard category to be. Again, India that's a common theme, I think,
is bad shoddy police work? I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. They're mad. They're just very mean. Yeah. I mean, they're doing bad police work too.
One of my favorite scenes, though, I got to say, and this scene was originally supposed to be shot in only 1 minute. It was only supposed to be 1 minute of film, but the actors improv'd it for 14 and a half minutes, and I thought it worked really well for the movie. Because this whole time, like, me and Mary were watching this, and we were getting so irritated. We're like, Kali is missing. What is going on here? And that's in the police station when they first report it. And the cop's asking him about being an actor, and, why'd you switch your name? And he was like, and he brought up Big B in the movie, too. And
he did. That was crazy.
Yeah.
And I wrote that in my notes, too. I wanted to bring that up. Yeah, I knew you were going to say something like that.
I love that scene, though, when they're just going back. I mean, I hated it because I was just getting irritated. But they keep going back and forth, and it's literally just them having a conversation. And I'm like, oh, my God, is there no sense of urgency here to try to find this missing girl? Like, do you really give a shit that much? That cop was irritating me.
Oh, yeah.
To no end.
Well, they immediately thought that he was fucking in on it. And yeah, that was my initial thought immediately too. Well, like that's stereotypical. And the whole time it was giving me Man on Fire vibes.
Yes.
You know, where it ended up being, spoiler alert if you haven't seen Man on Fire, you know, where it ended up being the dad because he needed money and he ended up doing, that's what I was getting the entire time. I think this guy's, but that's how smart Anurag Kashyap is. He knows people have seen that before, but he hints at it to where you're thinking, oh, for sure. And then you think it's the cop. Because the cop wants to get back at the real dad because he was the stepdad, and then by half an hour after you think that, you have no idea. Then you think it's the mom setting the whole thing up, the mom who was about to eat a fucking lead sandwich in the first 30 seconds.
I know.
Set her character up. I think she was
miserable.
Well, I think she was gonna pull it until she got that knock on the door.
Well, yeah, until her daughter knocked on the door and asked for dad.
Yeah,
for that Saturday meeting. Otherwise, she would have blown her head off.
Which
imagine having and again, kind of goes to the selfishness again. You know your daughter's in the house and you're going to blow your head off?
Oh, yeah.
Like, come on, what are we doing here?
Happens all the time, though, where you hear real stories about people about to do it, and then, like, their kid, like, knocks or something like that in real life, and they have to, like, rethink. But, yeah, she was just another day for her. I think she just threw that gun to the side and just went on living.
Like nothing was wrong.
Yeah. But, that set her character up fucking quick.
It did.
And then her dynamic of acting fucking sad the entire time, and then getting the money from her dad and her ripping her dad off
and putting like a third of it in her own pocket because she's with a emotionally estranged husband,
and then her leaving that money with people who are also trying to rip
to rip them off. Yeah, her B-list actor friend or actress friend. What was her name? Rakhi, I believe.
Rakhi, yep.
Yeah.
Who was dating Raul. They were together, her and...
it's such a trick. It's like, shoo,
and it gets funny
everywhere.
at one point, because at one point, they're like getting multiple ransom calls from different people.
Well, and boys, what is he, the Edgar Allan Hoover of fucking India? This dude is listening in on everyone. He's got to be Edgar Hoover, man.
He is, yeah, man.
It's wild.
He taps everyone, but everyone's doing like the same voice, and they're all using the same recording of the girl that he did earlier, and it's funny, but it's fucking dark.
But it's so dark.
Because the mom's getting like all kinds of...
And then it's confusing the mom too, and then she's holding out hope.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, the mom's got her own problems too, but at the same time, it's just like...
But she was the only one that seemed like she had a Cowley on her mind, but still had money on her mind as well. Because she lived in a horrible situation, and she was trying to get out of it. Because everyone just saw that fucking girl getting taken as the greatest opportunity to move on up out of here, man. That's my nightmare of me getting kidnapped, and no one is even looking for me.
Yeah.
They're all just
trying to make a deal. It's like, let's make a deal, you know?
Yeah, it's crazy, but...
it's gross.
It's cool to see. I mean, it's well done.
It is.
And it's like a reverse thriller.
Yep.
Where it's like you're not even supposed to be really paying attention to where... Because it doesn't matter at the end.
It doesn't.
Doesn't matter. But I was thinking, when I got done with this movie, out of all the things we watched, I think this film would make the best, like, English remake or, like, a mini series on, like, ABC or something.
Yeah,
I could see this going on, expanding it and expanding the characters out for, like, five or, like, 3 episodes or something like that.
Like a mini series, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And people, because... I think it's perfect. I haven't said that about any of the films they watch, because I think they're perfect in India and there's no reason to adapt them. But I think this one you can expand into a miniseries and really explore all these characters and all their motives. Because we couldn't even went deeper in to see, what was his name? Chatanya? Chatiana, yeah. You could have gone deeper in that, seeing why he had debt and all that, and got deeper into seeing why the wife was so depressed. And how Raul could have went deeper in seeing how shitty his acting career was. So you could have expanded a lot.
Could have.
And then it would have been, I think American audiences would really like this ending.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's very American to want to know immediately who the bad guy is. We don't like going in there. Any surprises.
And, dude, I had no idea this whole film either.
Yeah.
No
exactly.
idea.
And that's what's great about us not seeing any of these trailers. I mean, we see one trailer, but we don't ever hear anyone talk about it. We don't see it talked about on the internet, so we go in completely raw.
Blind. Yeah, totally.
And for this film, it played off for sure.
It did.
Because that's what people were telling us too in the comments. In the comments, the only thing people were telling us were this film is really ugly.
Yeah, they kept using the title.
Which is great, because they tell us nothing. They just told us exactly what we needed to know. And they were damn right, because there is some hideous people in this film for sure. Right. But I think it'd work well as American miniseries or something.
This film was actually part of the Director's Fortnight section at the 2013 Cannes Film Festival.
Yeah.
Which is a very big deal.
It's a big deal. I'm sure they fucking loved it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's right up their alley for something like that.
I got to bring this up to you, too, because we saw the warnings on the screen. But in Anurag Kashyap's defense, this film was originally supposed to be released at a much earlier time than what it was slated for. He waited almost an entire year because he was fighting to get those warnings off because he didn't want them on screen.
Well, I got to bring something up.
Eventually had to just give in because he wasn't ever going to release his film.
I got to bring something up about that, too, because I think we're getting a weird edit or something on Amazon.
You think so?
Because at one point, I even wrote it down, at one point when... Raki, the girl, she just called in the ransom, and then she gets up and, like, her husband, because her husband's like a producer or something, remember? He comes in and she goes towards, like, the window, opens it up, and then it's a weird edit to where she's standing directly in front of him now, and she's wearing completely different clothes.
Different clothes. We noticed that too. Yeah, absolutely.
So
and I was like, what
did they
hell?
edit out like a nudity scene or something like that?
I don't know.
Because it's really, because
was
you can see
strange.
his face goes from like, what the fuck, to like something really weird. So I'm like, that seemed kind of like an important scene.
Yeah.
Because it really kind of
edited that out.
Yeah, it added to her character because it looked like it might have been. I want to know. I really want to know because. And I want to know why we're getting, like, I don't know if they're editing it for, like, TV, and then we're getting, like, the TV version or something like that.
Yeah.
But that was a weird edit. And there's no way that Anurag Kashyap would have left that in.
Well,
like, I mean, unless something needed to be edited out, and they made him do that because it's an obvious continuity issue.
And I think you're onto something here, okay? Because on the Wikipedia page, it says that the film is 2 hours.
Yes, much longer. I noticed that too.
Or 126 minutes. I'm sorry, which is 2 hours and 6 minutes. But when we watched it on Amazon, the entire film was 1 hour and 52 minutes.
Yes.
So they must have edited out 18 minutes of footage.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a lot of the film.
And I'm starting to notice it. Like you can only notice it when it's almost really obvious. But that scene for sure,
obvious.
it was obvious for sure. Yeah. And then we talk about these warnings, and then people are like, "Well, we didn't see any warnings on the."
Yeah, and we're like, what are we getting? Yeah, we're getting a different.
So
product.
I hope it's not really taken away because this film was still great, but I hope it's not like taking too much away from the film. Because I feel like that scene would have added a lot to that Rocky character.
Yes.
Because the whole time they were kind of like her character was crazy. But we never really saw why she was crazy or anything.
Right.
She was just a B-lister, and she was just, using everyone.
Yeah, everyone. Yeah.
Pretty much. But I thought that was weird. I definitely wanted to bring it up. I don't know. I don't know if they're allowed to show nudity because we haven't seen any nudity in an Indian film yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
And if it is, maybe they're editing it out because they think us Americans can't handle it.
Right, which is the strangest thing because we see nudity all the time. In
well, yeah, not as much as Europe, unfortunately,
right,
on
no,
TV.
Europe, it's just
you can show anything.
They're just out and about all the time. The twins.
They're not, and you can cuss and say that F word on TV and stuff. It's better.
One of the most surprising things about this film for me was how much it made at the box office. The budget for this was 4.5 crore, but it did not do that well in India. It only had a box office of 6.24 crore, which is astonishing to me because this film was a great thriller.
Like, I know,
as we talked about before. It really shocked me more Indian people did not go and see this film.
Has any Anurag Kashyap film made that much money?
I think Gangs of Wasseypur didn't do too bad.
No, I think Gangs of Wasseypur was on a loss.
Oh, really?
I don't think it did very good. Yeah, because it was so long that they had to split it up. So because you have to look at both films for the budget too and everything. Right, yeah, but I think it was kind of the same thing where it made barely back.
It doesn't even say.
Yeah,
which is probably telltale sign. It probably didn't do great.
Yeah, so I don't mean that doesn't really mean anything to me as far as, but it is strange that no one went and saw this because it is it's a really good film. It is.
It's a great film.
Again, a really good thriller, especially if you go in not knowing anything about it. I mean, it's one of those films, like we said, where you probably couldn't watch it multiple times back to back, just because it is just takes the wind out of you because of how horrible these people are. But it's a good thriller. It had me guessing the entire time.
Yep. And I was trying to put together the pieces too the whole time. I'm like, hold on. So this person's calling for this person's calling for this person. So that I wonder if this is going to tie back to Raul or if it's going to tie back to his producer friend.
Yeah. And then you're thinking, okay, Raul, he's in on it. And you're thinking, okay, Raul's not in on it, but definitely Chatiana's in on it.
Yeah.
He's in on it for sure. And then you're thinking, okay, maybe he's not in on it because they tortured him for a long time. And then he says he was in on it, but he says he wasn't really on it. He just took advantage of it. He says it like midway through. So you're like, what the hell? Now you got thinking everyone's just out there taking advantage of it. And then again, I don't want to ruin the end, but it's so well done and it's done in a very satisfying way.
Yes.
But I loved it.
As did I.
I thought it was really good. And say what you want about the cops, they're tough as hell though. They're bad cops.
They are bad cops.
I love the scene
very tough.
when you first meet, when you're first introduced to boys. He comes in and he kicks that guy out of the chair.
No, I was like, damn.
He starts beating the other guy. It's so good. And that guy takes a fucking bullet at one point, and you would think he didn't even take the bullet.
No.
Fucking shoulder to him. I'm walking it off.
It was
nothing, but he does pass out at one point.
Shamik shoots him, right?
Yes.
Yeah, his wife, which is because she didn't want to answer the question of what she was going to do with the money.
And that's a crazy scene, too. That's a really good scene. And then she just kind of fucking breaks and walks to the gun and shoots him, yeah. It's a crazy scene. And again, you can't root for anyone the entire time.
Nope.
You can't even root for her.
Person.
You can't even root for her. And you can't even root for him.
No, because
you don't even really want him to die either.
No. Well, she stole from her own parents, too. That's the wild thing.
Yes.
It's like your child is missing and you care more about your financial status than you do your own child.
Yeah.
I had sympathy for her the whole time for the film. I'm like, wow, the mother seems like the only person who really cares. And then come to find out she was screwing the system too.
Yeah, well, I just think she just saw the fucking writing on the wall. It was like, okay, everyone is taking advantage of me at this point. And again, she was being like ragdolled, dragged around.
She was definitely being abused.
Yeah, absolutely. And abused by everyone just calling in fucking ransoms. I mean, she was close to, again, eating the lead.
She was going to eat the lead before Callie went missing. Imagine what she wanted to do when she went missing, you know?
Yes, that's
Tough
very
situation.
true. Yeah, it's a tough situation for sure. She just wanted to get out. Who knows? And who knows? She probably fucking abandoned Callie the second she got money.
Yep.
That's how horrible these people. Again, there's probably never been. I wasn't sure what the title was all about. I just thought maybe it was just an ugly situation. But it's perfect. It's just ugly. Everything about this film is ugly. The scenario, the people.
Yeah.
Besides the way it's shot. I mean, it's shot beautifully, but
It is.
But man, it's a perfect title. I get it. Ugly.
Yeah.
Because there's not a redeemable person. You didn't even get enough time with Callie to know how good she was. She was on that iPhone a lot. She
Yes,
could have been
she
just
was.
as bad. She could have been just as bad as the rest of these people. But all right, you got anything else?
No, I think I'm good there.
That's all I got.
Alrighty. Well, that is our review. That is our Foreign Film Friday review for Ugly, the Anurag Kashyap directed film. If you guys like what you're seeing here, please be sure to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification as we drop videos here every single day. If you're listening in audio format, we have our podcast where we drop 5 reviews a week. Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, and Stitcher, anywhere you get your podcasts, social media pages, Twitter, Seen It Podcast. Cash is on Twitter. That's just Cash. Instagram, Have You Seen It? Facebook, Have You Seen It Podcast. Thank you so much for watching and listening. My name is Mason Knight. That is Cash Krause, and until next time.
Bye.